Imagine jumping off a mountain and flying through the sky like a bird. In 2016, a man did just that. He live-streamed his wingsuit flight over the Swiss Alps. People everywhere watched, amazed by his daring glide. But suddenly there was a loud scream, and then nothing. The screen went silent. Moments later, rescuers found him at the bottom of the mountain. Wingsuit flying looks super cool, but it can be deadly if even the smallest thing goes wrong. How can something so thrilling turn into a nightmare so quickly? Today, we're uncovering wingsuit flights that went from breathtaking to heartbreaking in the blink of an eye. What you're about to hear will change the way you think about adventure forever. The tragic fate of Dwayne Weston. Dwayne Weston was one of the greatest wingsuit flyers of his time. He was known for pulling off stunts that left people speechless. In 2003, during an event in Colorado, he attempted one of his most daring flights yet. The plan? Fly over the Royal Gorge Bridge while his friend, Jebrus, flew underneath it. Sounds thrilling, right? But things went horribly wrong. Dwayne was flying at over 120 miles per hour when he misjudged the distance to the bridge. In a split second, he collided with the railing. The impact was so severe that it was fatal on the spot. What made this even more shocking was that Dwayne was incredibly experienced. How could someone so skilled make such a mistake? Experts believe unpredictable winds in the gorge played a big role. Even a slight gust can throw off a flight path at those speeds. This accident shocked the wingsuit community and reminded everyone of the risks involved. No matter how good you are, wingsuit flying leaves no room for error. Dwayne's story is a not-so-forgettable example of how dangerous this sport can be and why it demands ultimate precision. Viktor Kovitz's fatal jump. Viktor Kovitzs, a highly skilled wingsuit flyer from Hungary, was no stranger to extreme challenges. With over 700 jumps under his belt, he was considered one of the top flyers in the sport. In October 2013, he traveled to Tianmen Mountain in China, a location known for its breathtaking cliffs and dangerous terrain, to participate in the World Wingsuit League event. During a practice jump, tragedy struck. After leaping from a cliff over 700 meters high, Viktor's parachute failed to deploy. Imagine falling at over 100 miles per hour with no way to slow down. This is every wingsuit flyer's worst nightmare. Rescue teams searched the area through the night, and his body was found the next day in the dense forest below. What caused the accident? Investigators pointed to a technical malfunction in his parachute system. A critical failure like this can happen if the equipment is damaged, improperly packed, or not maintained. Experienced flyers like Viktor always rely on their gear, but even one missed detail can lead to disaster. This is why regular checks and maintenance are non-negotiable. Let's talk practicalities. A parachute isn't just something you strap on and forget. Flyers must ensure that it's packed correctly, with no twists or tangles in the lines. The deployment mechanism also needs to be tested and inspected before every jump. If any part of the system isn't working perfectly, it can result in catastrophic failure. But equipment isn't the only concern. Tianmen Mountain is famous for its unpredictable wind patterns. Even slight changes in wind speed or direction can throw a wingsuit flyer off course. Before any jump, pilots need to check weather conditions and be ready to delay if the wind becomes too risky. It's a matter of precision, because wingsuit flying is as much about controlling the environment as it is about skill. Viktor's fatal jump clearly shows how crucial preparation is in wingsuit flying. Every flyer, regardless of experience, must treat each jump as if their life depends on it, because it does. Equipment checks, weather analysis, and thorough planning aren't just routines, they're survival tools. Would you trust your life to your preparation? In wingsuit flying, there's no other option. Eric de Santos' near-fatal crash. In 2016, Eric de Santos, a skilled wingsuit pilot from San Diego, took on a challenging jump in Chamonix, France. With hundreds of jumps behind him, Eric had the experience to handle risky flights. But wingsuit flying is unforgiving, and even the most experienced flyers can make mistakes. Eric launched from the Aiguille du Midi in the Mont Blanc Massif, aiming for a well-known flight path. Traveling at speeds of up to 90 miles per hour, he planned a route through a narrow valley. However, as he approached a section near the mid-station, his altitude was lower than expected. Eric adjusted his flight, opting for an alternate path known as the Cheese Grater. This route had a reputation for being tight and treacherous, lined with dense trees. As Eric descended, he misjudged his height and trajectory, clipping the top of a tree at high speed. The impact sent him tumbling into the forest. He hit the ground hard, unconscious, and remained there for hours until local trail workers discovered him and called for help. Rescue teams arrived by helicopter and rushed him to a hospital. Eric's injuries were severe: broken bones, a punctured lung, and deep cuts. Despite this, he survived, thanks to quick rescue efforts and his sturdy gear, which absorbed some of the impact. What went wrong? Eric later admitted that everything felt fine until just moments before the crash. He underestimated his altitude and got too comfortable with the flight path. Wingsuit pilots and other people, educate yourself on terrain awareness. When you're flying that close to the ground, even a slight miscalculation can have serious consequences. There's another takeaway here. Never underestimate how quickly environmental factors can change. Wind, terrain shifts, and visibility play a massive role in these flights. That's why pre-flight planning is essential. Knowing your route isn't enough. You must also know your margins for error. GPS trackers, altimeters, and cameras aren't just gadgets. They're lifesavers when used correctly. Eric's crash shows how quickly things can go wrong, even for seasoned jumpers. His recovery wasn't just physical. He spent months analyzing the incident to avoid making the same mistake again. If you're into wingsuit flying or any extreme sport, his story is a reminder. Preparation and focus are non-negotiable. Kieran Elliots' harrowing experience. Before we jump in, take a second to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. It's way easier than keeping a wingsuit steady at 120 miles per hour, and much safer too. Now, let's talk about Kieran Elliott. Kieran wasn't a seasoned pro, he was still learning the ropes. On just his fourth wingsuit jump, things went from exciting to terrifying in seconds. Mid-flight, he lost control and entered a flat spin. Basically, he started spinning sideways like a frisbee tossed in the wind. Sounds dizzying, right? It's worse when you're falling from the sky. A flat spin is no joke. Once you're caught in one, it's hard to stop. The spinning disorients you, making it nearly impossible to stabilize your body. For Kieran, the ground was rushing closer and he had only seconds to act. Thankfully, he managed to deploy his parachute, much lower than planned, but he made it out alive. So, what went wrong? Wingsuit flying isn't just jumping off a cliff and hoping for the best. It's a skill that takes time to master. Beginners like Kieran often underestimate how critical body position and movement control are. Even the tiniest shift in weight or angle can send you spiraling out of control. If you're new to wingsuit flying, here's what you need to know. Start slow. Many experts recommend jumping from a plane first to practice controlling the suit in open air. This helps you get a feel for stability before you try flying close to terrain. And don't skip training. Professional guidance can teach you life-saving maneuvers, like how to escape a flat spin or how to keep your speed manageable. There's this thing that is known as altitude awareness. Always keep enough room between you and the ground to correct mistakes. A flat spin closer to the surface leaves little to no chance for recovery. Whether you're dreaming of wingsuit flying or just watching from the safety of your couch, remember, it's not just about courage, it's about skill, preparation, and knowing when to pull the parachute. Armen Schirmers' live-streamed tragedy. In 2016, 28-year-old Armen Schirmers, an Italian wingsuit pilot, decided to live-stream his flight over the Swiss Alps. Known for sharing his daring adventures online, he had built a reputation as a skilled and fearless jumper. That day, he smiled into his phone's camera, zipped up his suit, and said, "Today, you fly with me." His followers eagerly watched as he tucked the phone into his pocket and leaped into the air. The stream continued, but what came next shocked everyone. The sound of a rushing wind filled the audio, followed by a sudden scream and then silence. The screen remained dark, but viewers could hear what sounded like a heavy impact. Comments poured in. "What happened? Armen, are you okay?" Sadly, Armen had crashed into the mountainside and died instantly. His body was later recovered near Kandersteg, a popular spot for extreme sports. Armen's story isn't just tragic. It raises serious questions about live streaming dangerous activities. Why does it matter? Because even tiny distractions can be deadly. While setting up cameras or worrying about how a stream looks, you might overlook critical safety checks or underestimate the risks of a jump. Wingsuit flying is dangerous enough. Pilots are moving at up to 150 miles per hour, navigating tight spaces with razor-thin margins for error. Adding the pressure of entertaining an audience only increases those risks. A dropped phone, a moment of hesitation, or focusing on the wrong thing can turn a perfect flight into disaster. Want to enjoy extreme sports safely? Here's the lesson. Focus entirely on the activity. If you want to record or stream, get professional equipment that doesn't require hands-on adjustments, or have someone else handle the filming. Get this simple truth. Flying close to cliffs and trees is risky enough without extra distractions. The thrill of the flight should always take priority over the thrill of the views. Jebrus's brush with death. Jebrus is one of the most famous wingsuit pilots in the world. He's flown off iconic landmarks like the Eiffel Tower and the Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil. But in 2012, his skills were put to the ultimate test during a jump at Table Mountain in South Africa. Jeb planned to skim close to the mountain for a jaw-dropping flight. Everything seemed perfect. The jump was smooth and he was flying fast, but as he tried to glide over a ridge, something went wrong. He miscalculated the height, and his legs slammed into the edge of the cliff at nearly 120 miles per hour. The crash was brutal. Both ankles shattered, bones broken, and severe cuts. So, what happened? Experts believe Jeb was flying too close to the mountain to push the limits of his stunt. Flying near obstacles is one of the most dangerous things wingsuit pilots do. Why? Because at those speeds, there's almost no time to react if something changes, like wind shifts or tiny errors in judgment. Just know that even the best pilots can make mistakes. Wingsuit flying is thrilling, but it's unforgiving. One wrong move can lead to life-threatening injuries, or worse. What can we learn? If you're trying extreme sports, know your limits, and always have a backup plan. Jeb survived because he was wearing the right safety gear and got medical help quickly. His survival wasn't luck, it was preparation. Wingsuit flying is thrilling, but today we saw how quickly things can turn deadly. From live stream jumps gone wrong to crashes that leave even the pros stunned, the risks are as real as the rush. What do you think? Is the danger worth the thrill? Let us know in the comments. If you love these stories, hit like and share with your daredevil friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more extreme adventures.